Isaiah 40, 29 through 31. He gives power to the weak and strength to the powerless. Even youths will become weak and tired, and young men will fall into exhaustion. But those who trust in the Lord will find new strength. They will soar high on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. My three representatives, if you would, please come out. Fantastic. Everybody give a round of applause for that. I have here the magic box of encouragement. You guys can just choose whatever you feel led to choose.
Mia, you are the best person ever, and I love you. Never let anyone tell you otherwise. You are so sweet and so kind. Also, never let anyone bring you down. I hope you have a great day, and I am going to pray for you.
Dear Patty, thank you for being a hilarious person. You have made me laugh more than everyone this year, and I thank you for that. I love you, my boy, and I will miss you.
Jason, you truly are so funny and such an amazing guy. You always know how to make people laugh, and you put a smile on everyone's face. You're so genuine, and you truly care about everyone around you, no matter who you are. Keep letting God's light shine through you. You are so loved by everyone around you, and most importantly, by God.
Good job, guys. Well done. Everybody give another round of applause. How many of you are familiar with a name, Admiral William H. McRaven? Anyone? Show of hands, anybody? All three of you? This man is highly decorated. He's a retired United States Navy 4-star admiral. He was the 9th commander of the United States Special Operations Command, or SOCOM. He was designated as the first director of the NATO Special Forces Operations Forces Coordination Center, or the NSCC, and he was also enacted as the Secretary of Defense under President Biden. Wow, right? So while this list is long and impressive, it was not the aspect of this gentleman that actually stood out to me. What it actually was a speech that he gave to the University of Texas 2014 senior class at their graduation. Seniors, you guys really should check this video out because it's fantastic. What he basically does is he goes over 10 words of advice that he wishes to give to the senior class. And he tells a very interesting story during this speech. And this is that story. For those of you that don't know, the 9th week of training for the Navy SEALs is referred to as Purgatory Week, because it is 6 days of constant physical and mental stress. It is barbed wire courses, mud courses, and see, some of the soldiers will describe it to you as a pep rally of sorts for the soldiers. They get off the bus, energy's high, they're building friendships, they're making friendships that'll last a lifetime, if you will, and everyone's smiling, guns are going off. But on the Wednesday of Purgatory Week, all the smiles fade, the guns stop going off, the pep rally is over, because the instructors will call for quiet on that Wednesday, and the soldiers will load into boats and they will paddle out to the mud flats, where they're going to spend the next 18 hours lying on their backs, staring up at the stars and gasping for air between waves that crash over their faces. They're completely submerged in mud. The only thing that's visible are their faces, maybe some limbs sticking out. But they'll endure things like howling winds and freezing temperatures and constant encouragement from their instructors to give up. It actually goes so far, in fact, that at one point, one of the instructors says, if just 5 of you men will give up, you can go home. Just 5 men to surrender, You can get out of the mud, get a nice warm shower and a change of clothes. Looking around the mud flats, it's apparent that some of these soldiers are about to give up. And right at what seems to be the lowest point for these soldiers, what seems to be the worst possible situation, a voice echoes through the cold night air. One man has begun to sing. And one voice turns into two. And two voices turns into three, three to four, to five, to six, until eventually the entire group of men are now singing at the top of their lungs, no matter how out of tune it may have been. It was sung with great enthusiasm, because when the instructors threatened them with more time in the mud, the singing persisted. And the admiral recalls that the mud seemed a little warmer, the winds not so violent, and the dawn not so far away. I need my three representatives again. We're going to do the list reading again. Y'all each pick another note.
Jaden Seeger is a great guy. He's a good baseball player that hits a lot of home runs.
To Christian, you make me laugh every day. You are always so kind and helpful.
KG, you are a very smart, pretty, funny person. I hope you have an amazing rest of the year.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, sure. Give a round of applause. That's great. Isaiah 40, 29 through 31. He gives power to the weak and strength to the powerless. Even youths will become weak and tired, and young men will fall into exhaustion, but those who trust in the Lord will find new strength. They will soar high on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. Mr. Derek Redmond, he won 2 gold medals and a silver in the Olympics. He broke the British world record for the 400-meter dash with 44.82 seconds. However, during the 1992 Summer Olympics, everything would change for Mr. Redmond. 250 meters into that race, his hamstring would tear. The officials came over to try and help him, but he refused help and tried to hobble his way to the finish line. His dad would barge onto the field through security to go and help his son. Although he would receive a DNF for that race, he received a standing ovation from 65,000 spectators that attended that day. He and his father would cross the finish line together. Isaiah 40, 29 through 31. He gives power to the weak and strength to the powerless. Even youths will become weak and tired, and young men will fall into exhaustion, but those who trust in the Lord will find new strength. They will soar high on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. Representatives, one more time, another round of encouraging letters.
Kamani Mobley, you have such an uplifting and joyful spirit. You spread love wherever you go.
To Josh Poole, you're so funny and a great friend.
Amberly, you are kind and pretty. I hope you have a good day and year. Don't think about what others say. You can do anything.
I've got one last little story for you guys. This one might actually be familiar to you. It's not so niche. Acts 16:16 through 34. There is a slave girl who is possessed by a demon. And this demon gives her the ability to read the future. And so her owners are now using her to profit. They're selling fortunes. Paul and Silas go walking down the street one day, and this demon girl runs out to Paul and starts screaming, "These are servants of the Most High God who have come to tell you how to be saved," in a mocking tone. This happens day after day after day until eventually Paul is fed up. And he turns to the girl and he says, "In the name of Jesus Christ, you leave that girl immediately." And the demon does. And so, the slave owners are obviously destroyed because now their dreams of becoming rich off of this magic girl that can read the future are in shambles. So they drag Paul and Silas to the city officials and they say, "These men are teaching customs that the Romans are not allowed to practice." They make something up. And they order that Paul and Silas be beaten and thrown in jail. And that's what happens. They're beaten to the point that they are bleeding. They're bound at the hands and feet, and they're thrown in prison. Now, what did they decide to do in the deepest, darkest dungeon of this prison? Right, they sing. They sing and they pray aloud, of course, but they do it so that all of the other prisoners can hear what they're saying. In the middle of them praying and singing aloud, an earthquake happens, and the very foundations of the prison are shaken, and the prison doors are thrown open, and the shackles are torn from their hands. And the guard sees this, and he thinks, "I have just failed at my job. The Romans surely will kill me." And so he draws his sword to kill himself. And right as he's about to plunge the sword into his own chest, Paul's voice echoes in the prison, and it says, "Wait, don't do it, we're still here." So the guard drops his sword, and he grabs a lantern and runs into the prison, and he falls down at Paul's feet, and he says, "How can I be saved?" And Paul says, all you have to do is believe and be baptized, and you and your entire household will be saved. And that's what they did. They all believed, and they all were baptized, and they all were saved. Let's do one final round of encouraging letters. And that'll be all from the representative. Yes, sure, clap, that's great.
Alex Peak, I hope you end up having a blessed life and that you end up maturing more. You are an amazing friend and I am very grateful for you. You have changed my life in some of the best ways. You are also really funny and you make me laugh most of the time. And that makes my day when I'm not feeling the best.
Dear Katie, I love you so much. You're doing amazing. I just want you to know that you are enough. God created you perfectly, and you are such a blessing. You deserve the world and nothing but the best. You are created for such a big purpose that only you can fulfill. You're irreplaceable. She is more precious than rubies. Nothing you desire can compare with you. Proverbs 3:15.
To Josh, you are really amazing, and I like you as a person.
Isaiah 40, 29 through 31. He gives power to the weak and strength to the powerless. Even youths will become weak and tired, and young men will fall into exhaustion, but those who trust in the Lord will find new strength. They will soar high on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. I conducted an experiment last month, the month of March, in which I would count every time that I was encouraged or complimented in some way. Can you guess how many times I was encouraged? I'll tell you, it was 3. In the entire 30 days, I was encouraged 3 times. Thank you. 4 times. But the first time was from my girlfriend Bailey. Some of you may remember her. She graduated 2 years ago. She told me that I would do well on a test that I was taking that day. The second was my mother, who told me that my outfit looked nice. Thank you, Mom. And the third was from a close friend of mine, who some of you also may remember, Mr. Alex Abbott, who would tell me that I would do well today as I speak, which I'm hoping I've done so far. Thank you. So to go an entire 30 days and be encouraged only 3 times out of all of that time is kind of sad, isn't it? There's such a lack of encouragement in our daily lives that it's almost sickening. I mean, how many people do you think are out there right now that all they need to hear is just a simple, kind word of encouragement? How many people's days might you alter for the better by a simple word of a compliment? How many people do you think you could save with a simple word of encouragement? You see, the Bible describes Satan as a prowling lion looking for someone to devour. And a lack of encouragement is a breeding ground for isolation and separation. When lions hunt, they don't attack the herd. They isolate the weakest links and attack those because they're vulnerable and alone. Because when you're in a group, you're going to be stronger. And in the same way, if you're surrounded by encouraging Christians and you're in God's church, you aren't alone. You're in a group, you're stronger, and it's not as easy for Satan to pick you off if you were just on your own. And so the way to create an environment of togetherness is to be encouraging to one another. But now I have a question for you. What do you think would have happened if Silas just elbows Paul when he starts to sing? And he's like, "Come on, man. What are you doing? We're in prison. It's dark, it smells bad, it's uncomfortable. Just keep it down, man. I'm trying to sleep over here." What do you think would have happened if Mr. Redmond's dad didn't show up to help him off the court? What do you think would have happened if that one man didn't start singing in the mud? Ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you, none of these stories that I've told you today would have been noteworthy. Nothing interesting would have happened. Nothing worth mentioning would have happened. Because those men would have given up. The 5 men would have given up. They would have gone home and have been a disappointment. Mr. Redmond would have been carried off the field in a stretcher. And Paul and Silas would have died in jail because of their lack of faith in God. Negativity has the power to destroy, but encouragement has the power to uplift and create. And so, ladies and gentlemen, when you are in your darkest moments, even though you may walk through the valley of the shadow of death, if you're surrounded by good Christian people, if you are encouraging, if you are making it a point every day, here at school, at church, everywhere else, to create an environment of togetherness and encouragement rather than of negativity and destruction, I promise you, no matter what you're going through, the mud will be a little bit warmer. The winds not so violent, and the dawn not so far away. You see, Those men, they made it out of the mud because of that one guy that started singing. And Derek Redmond, he made it off the field because of his father. Paul and Silas made it out of jail because of their faith in God. And Jesus Christ made it out of the grave because of his love for us. And so if it's true that today you honestly don't have anyone else to encourage you, if there is no one in your life that is uplifting, first of all, I would change that. But second, I want to give you some final words of encouragement from me. Isaiah 40, 29 through 31. He gives power to the weak and strength to the powerless. Even youths will become weak and tired, and young men will fall into exhaustion. But those who trust in the Lord will find new strength. They will soar high on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. Thank you for your time. So, as we get set up, I want to invite you guys to stand and come forward. But before y'all leave your seats, I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but I'm going to do it anyways. Mission team, if you guys are in here, can you please come to the front and stand here? And if any of you guys are going through something today, if you need a little bit of encouragement, you just need prayer, you need someone to talk to, these guys are here for you. I wish I could be down there with them, but I can't. If you need to talk to me after this is over, I'll be happy to. But if you need a little bit of encouragement, if you need a little bit of prayer, you need something, come forward now as we sing, "Oh Come to the Altar."
Morgan, you are literally such a light and an amazing person to be around. You are so genuine and you always make me laugh. Everything you do reflects Jesus. You are wonderful in every way, shape, and form, and getting to spend classes with you makes my day so much brighter. God is going to do amazing things with you, so trust in His plan. Chris, thank you for being you. You have made a tremendous impact on me, and I don't think you'll ever know. You have made me laugh, smile, and get through my days so many times when it felt impossible to do. I love you so very much, and I'm so thankful for our friendship. Keep shining for Christ next year and always.
Come and stand and come.
Are you hurting and broken within? Overwhelmed by the weight of your sin? Jesus is calling. Have you come to the end of yourself? Do you thirst for a drink from the well? Jesus is calling. Oh, come to the altar. The Father's arms are open wide. Forgiveness was bought with the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Leave behind your regrets and mistakes. Come today, there's no reason to wait. Jesus is calling. Bring your sorrows and trade them for joy. From the ashes a new life is born. Jesus is calling. Oh, come to the altar. The Father's arms are open wide. Forgiveness was bought with the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Oh, come to the altar. Isn't he wonderful? Sing hallelujah, Christ is risen. Bow down before him, for he is Lord of all. Sing hallelujah, Christ is risen. Oh, what a Savior! Isn't he wonderful? Sing hallelujah, Christ is risen. Bow down before him, for he is Lord of all. Sing hallelujah, Christ is risen. Oh, come to the altar. The Father's arms are open wide. Forgiveness was bought with the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Oh, come to the altar. The Father's arms are open wide. Forgiveness was bought with the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Bear your cross as you wait for the crown. Tell the world of the treasure you found.
Let's pray real quick, everybody. Dear Lord, we thank you for this day. Thank you for the other opportunity to praise you, Lord. We thank you for all the souls that came forward today. I pray that you just be with whatever they're going through, whatever they need. You know what it is, and I pray that you would grant it to them, Lord. We love you. In Jesus' name, amen.